being streaming.
Pop out. Basically, this is a work of fiction. Any similarities are just purely coincidental. Viewer discretion is advised.
They're posted on Tumblr.
I got an ad for Xbox this time.
Oh shit. Nothing happened.
What happened?
It was just my tablet falling over.
You said nothing happened. That is clearly something.
I know.
2, 1. Happy New Year!
What?
Oh, just whenever the ad got over.
Oh.
Alright, gonna go ahead and make the appropriate call to action with somebody.
Mage!
Hi, Mage! We are sitting at 2.2k rewards right now.
Eh.
The little coin thing at the bottom that looks like
yeah.
a Spartan emblem.
Ah,
We're sitting at 2.2k.
that's how many you
Hey,
have.
Hey, welcome back, everybody.
Yay! You might notice a new goal at the top.
Vote Renzo or Angel for Cyberpunk. Yes.
Yeah, because
Because once we get all this Hakuoki stuff out of the way, we're heading there.
well, Hakuoki and Ties of Fates.
Well, yeah, but I'm at 2.5k. Get wrecked, scrub. Okay, buddy. Okay.
Joke's on all of you. I have infinite.
Well, yeah, because this is literally you. Anyway, to the cultural festival.
Let's find it.
Yeah, that one.
There we go. I'm not ready for Serizawa. I'm not ready for Serizawa. Okay.
I know.
Alright. Time flew by. It was already October. As the season gradually began growing cooler, we switched to our winter uniforms. We got mail. We got mail.
No.
Yeah. Why is it Kazuma?
Chizuru, my bride. I am a third year, and you are a first year. And we have never had many opportunities to meet at school. I'm sure that you must be feeling very lonely. Thus, I prepared an application form for you for the student council. If you join the student council, you'll spend more time with me. What reason is there to hesitate? I've got a list right here.
Of reasons not to join.
I don't remember. In fact, did we even get this before?
Yes, I don't remember which one it is. It was, I think it was back in Hijikata's.
Yeah, so I'm going to my, alright, let's roll a d12, and it is, me, join the student, council?
Oh, Lord. Why is that the right answer?
The Time Gods are with us tonight.
So far. Anyway.
Yes. Although since the positions of treasurer and secretary are already filled, that means you'll automatically have some other position. I know. How about becoming my personal secretary? I expect a good reply from you.
I'm sorry, all I can think of was the Count's room in the drama. I'm sorry, no. I can't, I only watching one episode of the drama that was available, and I just see it's filled with pictures of cheese in her hand, just like, Kazuma? Do you need therapy? You okay, buddy? Midterms were approaching again, and the whole school was on edge. But things were different from the first term, when people weren't ready at all. Everyone knew to prepare for them well in advance this time. I guess the first years were anyway. The second and third years should have known already. Then, as we studied and overcame the huge ordeal one way or another, the next thing that awaited us was...
Well, those of you who actually read the program for this year's public event should know this already, but...
At the beginning of morning homeroom, Harada-sensei began to write today's agenda at the edge of the blackboard in big letters. After he finished writing, he turned back our way and slammed his hands on the lectern with a bam.
The cultural festival's at the end of this month. Every year, at the Hakuoki Academy Cultural Festival, classes judge each other's programs by voting on their favorites. After considering several of the best picks, the class who snatches an uncontested overall win will receive a wonderful prize.
A wonderful prize?
No way! Is it $1 million? Or a trip to Hawaii? Come on now, don't go off flying into dreamland on me here. An entire class received discount coupons for the school cafeteria as last year's prizes. Chances are, this year's prize will be the same as well. Discount coupons for the cafeteria? I'm not sure how I feel about this. Yeah, it'd be weird if people wanted them that much, that's for sure. You weirdo!
Everyone's shoulders dropped simultaneously after such a letdown. You could tell just by looking, everyone clearly looked down about it. Despite our low spirits, though, there was one within our ranks who felt entirely the opposite.
You weirdo.
Discount coupons for the cafeteria? His chair screeched across the floor as he leapt to his feet without a second thought. Hey, you guys, this is one fight we can't afford to lose.
What's gotten you all gung-ho for, Ibuki? What's gotten into you?
You moron! The cultural festival, that's what! The cultural festival! It's a once-in-a-year chance for us to boost our morale as a class. This event is more than key, it's vital! Don't say it's annoying, meaningless, and Eastern detached feeling here. Get your head in the game! I couldn't put my finger on it. What he was saying wasn't wrong, but I felt like he was a bit pent up, kind of.
Kind of high-strung.
Yeah. Harada-sensei looked amused as he watched the state our classroom was in. Why is this funny to you?
I'll never tell. And it's good that you're motivated. You'll have me teaching for first period, too, so you're just in luck.
He glanced at the time, then looked around at all of us as he spoke.
You guys want to decide on a program sooner rather than later. The earlier we pick, the more time we'll have to get ready, after all.
I'm all for it. I plan on leading the charge. The more time we get, the better.
Ibuki reeks of desperation, but I'm in favor of it too. We gotta do it for class. Plus, it seems fun. Alright, then it's decided. I'm gonna head back to the staff room for a bit. While I'm gone, think of a program that you want to do.
Bye, Sensei.
Sensei.
You're leaving me alone. A program for the cultural festival, huh? I open my notebook to brainstorm. As a yawn hits me. About what we could do for the cultural festival. Then first period came. Although we went back and forth about what programs we should put on.
Well, it's not that any of these are bad ideas, it's just that none of these are a shoo-in, really.
Great. It was a shame, but Harada-sensei was right. A drama performance, a cafe, an exhibition booth. There were a lot of proposals that seemed interesting, but it was difficult to say that any one of them could clinch us a win. We couldn't really settle on anything with everyone's clashing opinions, so we ended up wasting a lot of time. Uh-oh. But then Ibuki abruptly stood up. With his eyes sweeping across the rowdy classroom, he made a decisive announcement. There's only one answer. Our class program will be a maid cafe! A maid cafe? He didn't care how bewildered we were as he mustered the courage to deliver us a fervent, earnest speech. Hold on a second. Listen up. If people are gonna vote for us, then we're gonna have to have something original that no other class has. Having said that, doing something too novel isn't good either. Your average visitor is gonna have a vote, so having something they'll be well acquainted with is key. And that'd be a cafe?
To be fair, you'll be able to use the break room for various things if you do a cafe.
And more than that, our class has a secret weapon. The most powerful original thing that no other class in this academy has.
Oh, girl!
In the time he took to take a deep breath, Ibuki's eyes flew wide open. The only female student in this academy, Yukimura Chizuru! I couldn't even express my surprise. I looked up at Ibuki in a daze.
I get it. So we use the fact that she's the only girl in the academy, and that all the guys will want to come see her as a strat.
How about it? Isn't it the perfect plan? Ibuki was full of determination. It seemed to inspire the rest of my classmates, who were now thoroughly sold on the idea. Save for me, who made up a key part of this plan, and whose thoughts on it were being ignored.
Yeah. Way to go, Ibuki.
No. Ibuki...
Alright, now, settle down. If you're gonna pin all your hopes and dreams on her, then it'd be best if you hear what she has to say about it first.
Harada-sensei turned his attention to me, who wasn't on board with all of this yet.
Yukimura, what do you think about all this? If this maid cafe is going to happen, you'll be pretty much the only one serving customers. And that's no small responsibility.
I thought...
This is the friends route, so... I feel like it's gotta be I could do it.
The answer is... I had to do it. I don't know where I'm gonna pick the other freaking one.
It's probably for like the bad endings kind of thing.
I don't think there is bad endings, but like normal endings, but those usually take place in chapter 5.
Oh, right, during
Yeah.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Anyway, honestly, using me as a selling point to get votes was unthinkable to me. I did feel really uneasy about it, but it looked like everyone wanted to see this through. If that was the case, then I had no other choice. If my contribution will help everyone, then I'll do it.
よし。じゃあこのクラスの出し物はメイドカフェで決定だな。
Alright, then it's final. This class's program is going to be a maid cafe.
The yawn happened again. Harada Sensei slowly looked around the class.
いいかお前ら。
Listen well, listen well, you lot. You got Yukimura invested in this now.
優勝を目指し
Aim
て
for victory
頑張れ
and
よ。
give it your best shot.
おー
Yeah! Everyone punched the air with excited grins on their faces. Seeing everyone like that made me want to put in more and more effort.
I would have done the same thing, but I got a controller in my hand.
I also have a controller in my hand. Once we had decided on a program, everything afterwards went swimmingly. The culture festival would be at the end of the month. Now that we decided on a program, we had to start going all out on the preparations right away. Looks like things are going to be busy around here. There was plenty to get ready for a cultural festival. I hoped it would be a fun one. I'm dreading this.
Yeah.
As I was leaving the school with those thoughts in the back of my mind, suddenly,
この打剣が
You filthy mongrel.
I heard a booming voice coming from the middle of the school courtyard. Surprised, I looked to see what was going on. In the distance, I saw Ibuki and a man with a demonic-looking scowl.
And very inappropriate music for this.
Yeah. I don't care if there's a chibi. It should not be here.
俺が来校したというのに
I come all the way to your school, and you can't even arrange a simple arranging a simple greeting party? What is the meaning of this?
Ooh, what do I care about that? You just didn't tell me anything.
That's
Ibuki,
no excuse.
Ibuki was half desperate with his rebuttal. Besides, the fact you showed up out of the blue expecting them to come out and formally greet you is way too unreasonable.
What the fuck did you just say, you little mutt?
そもそも何故
And why should I have to take their needs into consideration? You useless piece of trash.
役立たずめ
The man didn't just stop at verbal harassment, but went so far as to pull out Ibuki's hair. Hard.
Ibuki.
My son! We need, at some point I'm making Ibuki an emote, once I get
Yes.
room. I was briefly overwhelmed by shock at the situation unfolding before my eyes. As I came back to my senses, I hurried to stop them. Excuse me.
Don't, Yukimura.
Suddenly, there's a motorcycle going brrr outside.
And a hand on your shoulder.
Yeah. Suddenly, a hand landed on my shoulder.
This doesn't concern you.
I looked up to see Hijikata-sensei making an incredibly bitter expression. Looking a little impatient beside him was Kondo-sensei. The two teachers rushed over and quickly forced their way in between Ibuki and the man.
ようこそお越しくださいま
Oh,
した
welcome. Thank you for coming all the way over here. Are you here because of that matter we discussed earlier, Sarazawa-san? Hmm?
ああ、屋敷
Oh, pardon. How rude of me. It won't do us any good to stand around and talk like this.
どうぞ応接室へお
let's take you to our reception office. By all means. I have the perfect tea for my hometown that I can bring out for you.
Kondo-sensei was remarkably courteous while dealing with the man.
So, this is how my reception has finally arrived in. However, I am currently in the middle of a disciplinary. Wait a moment. Serizawa-san.
Just before the man could turn to Ibuki again, Hijikata-sensei stood in his way with a severe expression.
You'll disturb the other students if you have an outburst by the entrance here.
Hijikata-sensei threw me a glance while I was standing behind him.
You have your standing to think of, so consider whether this is the time or place to do this. You mean to meddle in my obedience training, Hijikata? I don't really feel like complaining about your teaching methods. It's just that this is the sort of conversation you should be having at home.
Huh? Ibuki let out a small cry over how he'd been quietly forsaken. Even at Hijikata-sensei's silence, filled with anger, the man didn't particularly look like he was inclined to let up. I hate that word so much right now.
In this context, yes.
May I ask who this man is? I asked the question diffidently, and Kondo-sensei clapped his hands together.
Oh, that's right. This is your first time meeting him. This is Kamo Serizawa. Mr. Serizawa-san is the chairman of the Hakuoki Academy board and works as the Academy's PTA president as well. He's also Ibuki's foster parent.
Oh! That's when I realized that this was the person who Ibuki would grumble about at times.
So, you're Chizuru Yukimura.
You know of me?
You think you're the only girl in this academy, are you not? You think I wouldn't be able to tell who you are? Well, I caught wind about the girl whose enrollment Hijikata himself permitted.
He scrutinized me from head to toe, as if he were appraising my value. I resisted the urge to shrink back and straighten my posture as he fixed his gaze on me. Please allow me to greet you once more. I'm Chizuru Yukimura. I am in the same class as Ibuki, and he's always been a great help to me. Serizawa-san stared at me for a moment. He let out what I thought was a snort, then walked off towards the front entrance. With a nod, Kondo-sensei followed after Serizawa-san towards the school building.
Even with how much of a mess it was, you still wanted to step in.
Muttering that under his breath, Hijikata-sensei took a step forward to follow after Serizawa-san. Then, as if he just remembered something, he turned back my way.
Yukimura, your reply just now wasn't half bad. Your reply just now wasn't half bad.
Sorry.
I thought you would have said something about Ibuki, but then you held yourself back. Well done.
Oh, I didn't really do anything. I had a lot of questions for and about Serizawa-san for sure. But now definitely wasn't the time for me to bring them up. After smiling a little at what I said, Hijikata-sensei hurried back to the school building. After Hichikata-sensei and the others had left, I broke into a belated sweat. It seemed like the tension had finally cleared up. Ibuki, are you okay? Yeah, it's just the same old, same old. He let out a sigh like he'd given up a little. But don't worry about me. Just think of how you can make the cultural festival a success. Alright? My lunches, my fate, my everything is riding on it. Alright. Got it. He had said it so seriously that all I could do was give him a stiff nod. All I had been thinking about was how we could make it as fun as possible, but it seemed to come with its own set of troubles. It was time to start preparing for the cultural festival. Our school timetables were shortened, and we worked on the preparations after school. Class 1-1 was no exception. The whole class was willingly putting in overtime to get the maid cafe ready. Alright. Done. I was in charge of making the small props. Doing detail embroidery made up most of the work. I only just realized that the ornamentation needed for a maid cafe required a surprising amount of fabric. A tablecloth for every desk, a curtain to separate the kitchen area from the customer area, and the maid outfit, the biggest challenge yet. It made for a formidable opponent, to be sure. I sighed lightly and gave my hands a break. I've been at it for a while now. I should take a break. When I went out to the hallway to clear my head, the whole building was bustling with activity. Some people rushed around carrying cans of paint, others were hammering nails into a variety of things. Even with just a rough look around the hallway, it looked like every class was busy. The way the school building was being decked out for the festival, slowly but surely, was kind of exciting to see. I craned my head looking all around while walking forward. Heisuke and Okita said that Class 2-1 was doing a food stand in the courtyard. Saito-san was in Class 2-2. I wanted to ask what his program was going to be. I also heard that the gymnasium was being hired out for exclusive use by someone with a lot of leverage.
I wonder who.
Speaking of which, I wonder where Harada-sensei would be. Maybe just the staff room? Maybe the other teachers would be in their own classes. Now, where should I visit?
How about the gymnasium?
How about we take a minute break?
Okay.
Boop.
Alright, we'll be right back, chat.
So what, you picked the gymnasium?
Oh, you said a minute break?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we haven't picked it yet, but I have a feeling that goes for Kazuma. So go... I'm thinking the courtyard, perhaps, since this is Friends?
You think it'd be Friends?
Yeah.
Surprisingly, it's not.
Wow, so it's the school building, then.
Tell you in 22 seconds.
Yeah, because this is... How many, 3 of 4 ads? What the fuck?
Eh?
I got 3. I ended up getting slapped with... Well, it's 4 ads, that is what this is. 15 seconds.
Really?
Okay, and we're back, chat.
Hopefully we're back, chat. So, the answer is, how about the gymnasium?
I figured that would have been for Kazuma, quite honestly.
It
because
might be for
somebody rented out the gymnasium for their personal use. Who does that sound like in this game?
Wouldn't happen to be Cosmo, would it?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, right. Which class will be using the gym then? I suddenly had my doubts as I continued down the passage to the gymnasium. On the way there, I spotted a familiar face. Huh?
Oh,
Why is Ibuki here? Wasn't he in our classroom?
advertising.
Oh. Ibuki didn't notice me, looking fidgety as he left for the other side of the school building. I wondered what happened. Bet I was in the middle of my break, so maybe he was as well.
Keep heading for the gym?
Yes.
Because this is not Ibuki's route.
No. He was probably just taking his own break. I decided to keep heading for the gym. I can't wait to figure out what's going on with Ibuki, though. Ah, fuck.
Hi.
Hi, Brad. What you doing there? At some point, Kaoru showed up and approached me. Chizuru, what are you doing here? Hey, I reached a good stopping point in my work and decided to take a break. What are you up to, Kaoru? I came to check on the gym for a bit. Some idiots said they'd take up the gymnasium for private use up until the day of the festival. That reminds me, which class is using the gym again? The Hakuoki Academy Culture Festival basically saw students turning their own classrooms into booths, or the like. To use the courtyard or other venues, all you had to do was send in an application. Among those other venues, the gym was the most popular. I heard classes could allocate room for theater productions or form choirs every year with just how spacious it was. Pretty sure it was class 3-3. 3-3.
Kazuma.
Meaning...
That's right. My class.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We
The
have
bitch.
the bitch.
damn it. Okay.
It's fancy music. Why do you think I want to play him as like a shitty version?
I'm
Tamaki Senpai.
It makes sense. Kazuma. Kazuma suddenly appeared, giving a broad, meaningful smirk when he saw me.
My wife. I know you're interested in the comings and goings of your husband-to-be. But you should be good now and wait for the festival. I will personally entertain you when the time comes.
Exactly what sort of program was he planning on doing? Hey, you. What are you trying to pull? You're bothering the other students here.
Is that so? I thought my wife was merely looking forward to seeing me here.
Something dangerous was brewing between the two of them. What should I do?
It's a nuisance!
Damn, actually, you're right. It's a nuisance.
Well, I mean, if you were curious, that would be Kazuma's route. It makes sense.
Kaoru's a member of the disciplinary committee and all, so I kind of see how this might be a bit of a bother for others. There, see? Now why don't you show me what you're up to in there?
You should know that my authority for private use of this gym was recognized at a staff meeting. If you want to take a look so badly, then you ought to go get Hijikata's permission. Is that my phone finally getting the update for the stream?
Is it?
I don't know. I haven't looked at it this entire time.
Oh my lord. After saying that, Kazuma left and headed into the gym. How does a guy like that get that much of a say in things?
Money!
Oh, really? Still, what is he planning on? Hey, wait, Chizuru! What was it? He looked really mad. Why the hell is your class doing a maid cafe? Are you gonna dress like a maid? Oh, so I finally got back to him, huh? I mean, yeah? I don't approve, you hear me? You looking like a maid in front of who knows how many people. But the whole class decided on it. I'm against it. If you're saying you can't refuse, then how about I go refuse for you? That won't work.
It won't.
I know. You can call in sick. I could tell them you can't leave the house either, and then... Oh, look, looks like my break's over. I gotta get back to class. I'll see you later then, Kaoru. Sure enough, Kaoru was against it. But when I looked back at him, I wanted to work hard so that he'd approve of it eventually. I don't think that's gonna work, Chizuru. When I got back to my classroom, I spotted my classmates making a sign for the maid cafe. I had to keep doing my best. As I was thinking that, I heard someone unexpected speak up from behind me.
That's some fine craftsmanship there. Kondo-sensei.
Yeah?
Hey there, Yukimura. Looks like your class is plenty motivated, working on all this.
We all decided we'd do our best to win.
I see.
Hearing what I said, Kondo-sensei nodded with a happy smile.
You know, the PTA chairman and president, Sarazawa-san, covers the expenses of the cultural festival prize every year.
Huh? He does? I thought of the impression I got from him when I happened to meet him the other day. This kind of came as a surprise.
He'll pay for the prize or this year's winning class as well. Make sure you work hard at it too.
Will do. Thank you for the encouragement.
Every class is preparing programs that seem like they'll be plenty of fun. I can't wait to see how this year's cultural festival goes.
Kondo-sensei walked off with a smile, looking pleased with how much effort the students were putting in. I also wanted to do my very best, and make this festival the very best it could be. It's almost time.
Yeah.
Oh lord, I'm afraid. Then the day of the cultural festival finally arrived. The classroom had completely transformed into a cafe. Everyone was buzzing while awaiting our grand opening. Just looking at the guide for a second. We're good. Ibuki, are you alright? You're looking a little pale. I'm fine, just trembling with excitement. I did everything I possibly could to prepare for this, working non-stop up until today, but I wonder if it'll bear any fruit. It'll be fine. Man, you can't even guarantee that, though. Well, we're all in this together, and I don't think there's a single other class that's worked as hard as we have. So I'm sure that things will go smoothly.
That's right. It's just like Yukimura says. We've all been doing our best for today. Our interior decorations are just as good as those of any other class, and we have a cute maid too.
Right. Yeah! Ibuki seemed to have broken through his doubts. He suddenly raised his fist and looked at all of us. Let's go seize our victory. You guys ready?
Yeah!
Yay! Then, After we'd finished firing ourselves up, we heard the chime that signaled the start of the cultural festival. Whoosh.
Whoosh. The cake set is done!
Right.
Miss Maid, come guide our newest esteemed customer into their seat!
Yes, right away. I was overwhelmed by all of the unfamiliar customers, but I was still trying my best. The number of customers kept increasing and things got really busy in the blink of an eye. I don't know where this is going to stop, so I'm gonna save real quick.
Yeah.
We got mail.
And well, as soon as we save, we get mail.
Yeah,
That's
Soji.
from
Soji.
Okita?
Soji.
Why? A trouble magnet? It's cheesing it. It's Okita. Things were rough earlier. I mean, Cosmo tried to lock down the whole cafeteria so he could place an order for you. Don't you remember? The commotion around you never seems to die out. I wonder if you have a tendency to attract trouble.
You mean you? Fuck you, Okta. Roll the dice.
Yes. To the dice.
Roll the dice.
Another D12. Okay, that's not the case.
Alright.
Hey! Wow.
It's 2 for 2.
Yeah!
Anyway. Midget.
Is that so? There's never a dull moment when I'm by your side, though. I might be saying this, but I'm not blaming you. Okay? Actually, it's nice to be near you because I don't get as bored as I usually do.
Remember, don't let your Soji get bored. He
Otherwise, there might be a spontaneous fire somewhere.
Fuck you, Okta. Yep. Welcome. No, wait. I mean, welcome, Master. The line never seemed to get any shorter. The ads we put up must have worked really well then. I'd heard that the others had put up posters that read, "We have a maid here," or something along those lines. Because of that, I suppose everyone had high hopes for our program before the festival even began. But what do I do if things get any less busy? We couldn't keep up with seating or orders anymore. Just then, yet another customer came through the classroom doorway. Welcome back, Master. And then another. And then another. As I watched even more of them arrive, I rushed to keep up with serving everyone. I now saving here. I don't know when the minigame pops up, and I don't want to redo shit. We've done that a couple of times. It's not fun.
It really isn't, chat.
Whoosh. After that, when the chaos had momentarily calmed down... Just now, was that Kaoru? I caught sight of Kaoru peering into the classroom, tilted my head, and then headed for the hallway. The customer just now was the third-year rich boy. I'm sure the student council treasurer and secretary were with him too. I'm going to subtract points from each of every guy who got called master or was being too sweet to her. There.
Jesus Christ!
Yep. Hmm? Kaoru was hidden away under cover as he took notes with a singular concentration. Kaoru. No. The man who decided on such a shameless program in the first place are to blame for all this. Proposed by Ibuki, supervised by Harada, and approved by the student council. I'll have to write all of them in my dead note. What?
Kaoru? Where did you get that?
Kaoru? What are you doing? The moment I
Gotcha,
called,
bitch.
the moment I called out to him, Kaoru's body shook with a start. But that only lasted for a moment. As he soon regained his composure and turned to look at me. What do you want? Can't you see I'm busy? It's not that I need something, per se. But what are you doing here? Nothing of particular interest. I'm just doing my job as a member of the disciplinary committee. While holding his notepad behind his back, Kaoru furrowed his brows and glared at me. I've already heard some rumors about it, but why are you dressed like that? You're being paraded around in front of men. Don't you feel like some kind of spectacle? Aren't you embarrassed? The clothes I had worked so hard to prepare were being made fun of. I was a little offended. I mean, you made the dress yourself. So, I'd have opposed this maid cafe. Kaoru was chewing me out, but I really wanted to get the better of him. I stared directly at him. The yawns won't leave me. The yawns won't leave me alone.
Oh.
Yep. Kaoru, my classmates and I decided on this program after a lot of discussion. Don't say things like that. Were you forced into it by your classmates? Wrong. I decided to do this on my own.
Basically, this.
Eh?
Listen here, you little
shit.
shit.
Had I jabbed at a weak spot? Kaoru seemed a little at a loss for words. We both held our tongues and a strange silence came over us. Kaoru, would you like something to eat? No, I don't have the... Kaoru mumbled hesitantly and I glanced at the clock. The time? By the way, what is your class doing for the cultural festival? I could come with you. Don't come! Do not come!
Oh, that makes us want to come even more now.
Kaoru shook his head with all his might. He looked as if he'd rather die than let me see. What on earth was his class doing? And besides, business is booming here. You won't be able to slip away so easily. But Kaoru had taken the time to come and check in on my class, though. My dejection may have shown on my face, despite my attempts to hide it, because Kaoru snapped at me. I'm fine, so you should concentrate on your own program. Aren't there customers waiting for you? I'll do my best. Whoosh?
Whoosh.
At Kaoru's urging, I rushed to resume service in the cafe. Just now, I was certain that Kaoru was trying to encourage me. Thinking that made me a little bit happy, and I found my face relaxing. Whoosh. Then that happened right after Kaoru left the maid cafe. I think that's my tell, my
That's
signal.
our cue to save.
That's my signal. Bad mood. Yeah, bad news, Yukimura. Uh-oh.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
What's wrong? A bunch of customers have crowded in. It's on a whole different level than before. Oh, no. For a moment, I felt myself giving up, but then I remembered Kaoru's encouragement. Was it really encouragement coming from Kaoru?
So is this basically like whenever you try to pair together Lucina and Owain in Awakening? This is just like... It's an S rank, but it's like
friends.
Best friends?
It's friends. Maybe. I have to do something. I would do my best to deal with all the customers. Oh boy. Let's see how we do.
Alright.
Who's here first today?
Game on.
Oh,
The
it's Kondo.
results.
It's Kondo
Kondo sits.
and a random student. Nope, but I'm already messing up. Oh god.
Just breathe.
It,
注文を頼む。ありがとうよ。すまない。メイドさん、注文だ。お、ありがとうよ。注文を頼む。注文するぜ。すまない。ありがとな。注文してもいいか。メイドさん、注文だ。注文。あ、そうじゃないか。すまない。注文してもいいか。
ah. Why can't I get over there?
Sorry. Oh, we're so sorry.
I'm sorry, Nagakura.
Sorry, Nagakura.
I'm sorry. Why do you want coffee? You don't need coffee.
Yeah, but it tastes so good though. Despite what some
Soji,
people
you
might
don't
say.
need coffee.
No, I don't care what he says. I'm just saying it tastes kind of good.
I'm coming. Oh, wait. You want two things? Yeah! Yeah!
Just barely got it. Oh, wow.
No, I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
Oh, at least.
I have a save.
Okay, so you missed two. Is that going to be enough?
No. No.
It has to be flawless. Jesus Christ.
There is a counter in the corner. We missed it by one. Alright, load. Alright. Let's try this again. I'm so sorry, Nagakura. Missing you was my mistake. I gotta get 15.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ichikata one and cake. What do you want, Soji?
Looks like he wants.
Parfait.
Yeah.
Wait, 10 more. 10 more. Eh.
Don't give it to him.
I have to.
I mean, I know, but it's just like, don't give it to him. It's a trap.
Hijikata one coffee. How on brand is that?
Very on brand, considering what the those punks did during the
Oh god.
midterm tests.
Oh shit. Sana wants coffee.
That seems appropriate.
Kazu, what the fuck you want? Ibuki, give me the
He
coffee.
wants coffee.
Ibuki, give me the coffee. Alright. One more. One more.
Alright, what level are you? Oh,
We got it,
this
we
is
got it,
taking
we got it,
forever.
we got it. Oh, it just ends.
Oh, wow.
Yatta! Huh, looks good. That seemed like it was the biggest surge for the day, and we'd managed to make it through safely. I'd keep giving it 110% until we reached the finish line.
Yeah.
Yo, you have food?
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, I have to go get it, but yeah, I do have some.
Well, you know what scene is coming up next. Also, we have
Yeah,
mail.
no. Keep going. I'll be right back, chat.
In that case, let me just get some water for a second. And let's read this letter from Kaoru, since this is a text from Kaoru, since I'm Kaoru. I don't really feel good about my little sister being paraded around like some kind of exhibition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hardly. I'm not angry. I'm just exasperated. Eek. Very soon the long day came to an end. A chime sounded to signal the end of the festival, and all the customers who had come to the school as visitors headed home. The evening sun shone through the classroom windows as we tidied up while waiting on the school festival's closing event. We put away the last decorations another day, since that would be quite time-consuming. But there was trash to clear up, more so than usual, given the festival had been a school-wide affair. And there. Oh, I'm just heading out, okay. I grabbed a garbage bag and walked towards the refuse collection point behind the school. Now we wait for Midget to come back, because I can't do this well. You know what? Let's run an ad.
What did I miss?
As soon as you come back.
Okay.
As soon as you come back, ad time.
And alright.
Hi.
Let's go.
As soon as you come back, I run an ad.
Oh.
Let me just drink water.
Yeah, just drink. Yeah. So drink water, chat.
If you can hear us, drink water. It's nice to have a break.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're back because I still see the stream and not an ad.
No, my side still says ad.
Huh. Let me reset it.
That wasn't meant to happen. Alright. And the end, that should have ended. Pretty sure. There we go. Alright.
Let's go.
島田さん
Shimada-san. Does all the burnable waste go here? Yes. Please don't forget to separate the cans, the jars, and the plastic bottles.
Shimada-san, the school janitor, was talking to Yamazaki-san, who had also come to throw out some trash. The teachers all relied on and trusted Shimada-san a lot. He was the unsung hero of Hakuoki Academy. When we first met, I was shocked at the sheer size of his stature, but I'd come to know him as a gentle giant. He was very kind. There were rumors that he absolutely adored sweets, which explained how he'd gotten so big, or something along those lines at least. Hello, Yamazaki-san, Shimada-san. I brought some more garbage.
Oh. Sure, Yukimura. Thank you for your hard work. Yeah, thanks. Did you come to throw some trash away too?
That being said, there really is a lot of it today. Waste was piled up high in one corner of the courtyard. Shimada-san gave a small, dry smile while looking looking upon the garbage heap.
It's a sign that things were successful, I suppose.
Boop. Is it?
I worked as a school janitor here ever since the school was founded. But this year's cultural festival had quite the turnout, didn't it?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was even more exciting than last year's, in my opinion.
The enthusiasm from the festival still lingered as I looked upon the school, awash in the colors of twilight. But as the sun vanished, so did that enthusiasm, little by little. As noises happened upstairs. As the loneliness weighed on my heart, I heard people approaching us in the rear courtyard.
In other words, all that excitement means that this one was the best year yet. Right?
Hold on, getting a phone call.
Hold up, chat.
I've returned.
Okay.
We're fine. Everything's okay.
Okay. That's exactly why we teachers had it so rough. That being said, the most important thing is that no major problems came up.
Wait a minute. Do you have the button?
Do I have the button?
Do you have the button? Not that button. We have the one button that can be used for this situation because... Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've got that up.
Alright.
God.
Oh, it's Harada-sensei and Hijika. Ta-sensei? The two of them looked different from what I expected. For some reason, Harada-sensei and Hijikata-sensei were wearing aprons. Moreover, the design and colors of the aprons were contrary to the image I had of those two. They looked kind of cute in a way.
Those are some very unusual outfits to see the two of you in. May I ask why? My class ran a takoyaki stand, but we prepared way too many ingredients. The class was talking about eating them as soon as possible.
Hijikata-sensei spoke with a dejected expression.
Yeah.
Now that he mentioned it, there were conspicuous sauce stains at the bottom of his apron. You mean to say you cooked it personally, Hijikata-sensei?
Yeah, I got a rare look at Hijikata's laser-focused on takoyaki face. Oh, shut up. Well, I couldn't just let the students do it.
Hijikata-sensei gave a wry smile and suddenly looked behind him.
Oh.
Standing there was Nagakura-sensei, his cheeks stuffed full from the veritable mountains of takoyaki he was carrying.
Well, I really is my new call. Yeah, consider it a reward for all your hard work. Don't be shy. Eat up. So basically, we're just all taking a little break, as you can see.
Honestly, I thought you would have hit the other button.
Oh, is that what we were going for? Okay.
I mean,
you goddamn snake.
it is Sanan, so. When I followed Harada-sensei's line of sight, I noticed that Sanan-sensei had also appeared.
I will be helping myself to some as well.
Sanan-sensei was also snacking on some takoyaki behind Harada-sensei and Hijikata-sensei.
And then, anyway, I want my ball first. My favorite fish. I'm super raw out. Well then, would you like to try this out?
Sanan-sensei promptly produced a small bottle filled with a crimson liquid.
Don't do it, it's a trap! What's that? Oh, it's an energy drink I created. One sip and you'll be completely remedied of any fatigue that you have. Please drink it if you like, Nagakura. Wow, that's amazing! Oh, that takes a butt! Nagakura-sensei, wait! What's wrong, Yamazaki? Is something the matter, Yamazaki? No, it's nothing. You goddamn snake!
You can just feel the threateningness. Harada-sensei laughed lightly at their exchange before extending the takoyaki offer to me, too.
You should also eat some too, Yukimura, if you're in the mood.
Are you sure?
Of course. Welcome to our humble store, milady. Allow me to show you to your seat.
Alright.
I swear. Hey, Harada, don't tease the kids like that.
I couldn't help feeling shy being in the middle of everyone like that. Yay! What do we get? The closing event of Hakuo Academy's cultural festival was non-compulsory, taking place after the sun had set. Of course, almost everyone from my class chose to participate, but there were also a few who didn't. And so, before the ceremony and the announcements of which class won, students from every class gathered on the school grounds.
Students of Hakuo Academy, before the closing ceremony, let me officially announce the end of the school festival.
Serizawa-san also made an appearance alongside Kondo-sensei on a stage in front of the school building.
Thanks to all of your incredible efforts, this year's cultural festival ended up being a great success. For some class programs in particular, things were even more climactic and exciting than ever. Now then, the PTA chairman Serizawa-san will announce which class won the popular vote. I just preemptively did that.
Yeah, I know. Serizawa-san looked completely uninterested as he unfolded the paper he was holding.
By virtue of gathering the most votes, this year's winning class is...
Please. Ibuki murmured that hoarsely with his hands clasped tightly in prayer. The others in the class and I waited for the announcement with bated breath.
Class 1-1.
Yes!
Ah!
This isn't a dream, right? Our class actually just... Our class actually won. Ibuki was rendered speechless, so he struck a huge victory pose instead. With this, I'll be able to eat lunch like a normal person from now on. It's like a dream come true. But then, as we were celebrating... Serizawa-san appeared behind Ibuki before any of us even realized it.
You just said, eat lunch like a normal person. Aren't you misunderstanding things, you dog?
Huh? But we won, right? That means the school lunch discount coupons are ours, right?
I don't know where you heard such a rumor, but that is not what this year's prize is. This year is a class-wide prepaid book card.
A prepaid book card? How is that possible? I didn't hear about this. What did you say?
I said that he's so crushed. You irritating pest. You must have purposefully misunderstood. Come here.
Don't pull my ear! In the end, many students were happy, but Ibuki alone was so depressed that it seemed like he'd never recover from it. My son! With that, the cultural festival came to a close. Serving all those customers had been tough, but it ended up being a fulfilling day. Thanks to everyone's hard work, I had no doubt in my mind that this day would become a wonderful memory for me. And now it's time for Christmas in September. Oh boy.
Wow, the calendar really flies, doesn't it? I could have sworn it was September.
Yep.
And we've been through October, November, and now December.
It's now December. Anyway. With the cool autumn having passed, even the midday winds started growing cold enough to chill the bones. Patches of frost started to linger in the shade, and our breath formed white clouds outside. Winter had begun. Oh, I just looked ahead in a walkthrough and I am...
Dreading?
I don't know what these choices are, but alrighty. The calendar already read December. I didn't dislike school, but one Monday morning I couldn't help but feel a bit gloomy. Heisuke had left for early morning club activities along with Okita, Saito, and the others, so I found myself walking to school alone.
Aw.
Phone! It's from Kaoru. What'd you want, Brett? Chizuru, are you free right now? The truth is, recently, the number of guys that have started acting all buddy-buddy with me has suddenly increased. They often come up to talk to me during break times, and I can't help but feel annoyed. Do you know why more and more people have been like that? Do you know why more and more people like that have been suddenly showing up?
Because more people want... Wait a minute.
Dice.
I know. It rolled a 7. Hang on. But it's... the 7 would be because more people want to be your friend, but... Yeah, let's go with it. Let's see what happens.
This one? Or which one?
Yeah.
Friend?
Yeah.
Alright. Do you really think that? It's impossible for people to make friends with me. Rather, it's because you're involved. Well, you don't have to worry about it. I'll deal with it before anything can happen. Jesus. Anyway, I really did feel sleepier on Mondays. As I held back a yawn while going through the school gates, a cheerful voice greeted me, one energetic enough to chase away all my lingering drowsiness.
Ohio, Yukimura. It's a lovely morning today, isn't it?
Ohio, Kondo-sensei. You seem to be grinning more than usual today. Did something special happen?
Oh, of course, you're a first year, so you don't know. He'll be explained at the school assembly later. But, actually, come Christmas, I dress up as Santa and give presents to students here at the school every year.
I still need this to be drawn.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it, it is nearly Christmas, isn't it? But, do you do it all by yourself, Kondo-sensei?
Oh, of course. I can't just hand such an important role over to someone else, you know? Seeing students' excited faces as I hand out presents, I just can't help but look forward to it every year.
He struggled to contain his beam of excitement. I couldn't help but grin and let out a small giggle myself. Honestly, with a man like this as his principal, I was really glad that I enrolled in Hakuoki Academy. Well then, I will also be looking forward to this year's Christmas event. Boop.
Alright, cool.
Hmm?
Great. I decided to splurge a little bit this year too, so I hope that you do. Oh, hey Kondo. Oh, Yukimura's here too, huh?
Ohio, Hijikata-sensei. Hijikata-sensei had suddenly approached the two of us at the gate. Kondo-sensei noted his unusually weary expression and his eyes narrowed in confusion.
Toshi, what happened? Your face is really pale. Does some bad news come this morning? Bad news, huh? Yeah, you could certainly call it bad news. Suffice it to say, Christmas is cancelled.
Oh no, fade to black.
Uh, I have some upsetting news for everyone today.
Attending morning assembly in the schoolyard was hard for students during this time of year. The freezing winds whipped through the campus. Even just standing outside was torture in winter. All the students were lined up according to which class we were in, our shoulders hunched in the cold as we listened to our principal's announcements. But he looked worse off than all of us, his face paler, his shoulders more slumped, as he addressed us from the dais.
Now we have a last-minute announcement from the chairman of the PTA, Sarazawa-san. This year, Sarazawa-san has kindly decided to host a Christmas party for the school staff and a few select students. As a matter of fact, this party will be hosted in place of our usual Christmas event.
Surely by usual Christmas event, he meant the gift-giving one he was just telling me about so enthusiastically. Kondo-sensei shook his head a little as he spoke, his broad frame sagging miserably.
Invitations will be delivered to those who were chosen. Students who will accept will have until the day of the party to prepare presents. Those presents will be a gift exchange at the party.
Hey, Toto, did Serizawa-san host a party like this last year too?
Nuh-uh. At least, not last year, no. Kondo-sensei seems surprised too. Must be a first for this year.
Soji's not happy.
No, he's not.
Kara Heisuke's classes happened to be lined up near mine, close enough for me to overhear their conversation, which left me puzzled. It seemed that the older students were just as surprised at this unforeseen development. Students murmured to their neighbors here and there. In the midst of all this, Ibuki's face had already gone pale, and it was getting whiter by the second. Ibuki, are you okay? If you're not feeling well, I could call Sanan-sensei over. No, it's okay. But that guy hosting a party with a bunch of hand-picked students. What's with that? What's he scheming? I'll say this much. He's definitely not doing it out of the goodness of his heart.
Now, I'm sure you all have your questions, but regardless, this is how it's going to be. Students and teachers alike who are invited should treat it as if it were a compulsory event. That is all. Dismissed.
Wash. With that, the morning assembly that had shocked the whole student body came to an end. On Hijikata-sensei's cue, we students dispersed, hurrying back to the school building. What was first period again? As I changed into my indoor shoes and started walking to my class, I felt a tap on my shoulder.
Yukimura.
Oh, Hijikata-sensei, do you need something?
Not exactly. You heard about the thing before, right?
Oh, Kondo-sensei was looking forward to it so much too. It's really too bad.
Yeah, I'm actually a bit worried about that. I wanted to try turning it into something that Kondo-sensei might also be able to appreciate.
Really? Hijikata-sensei gave me a small nod in response, his expression determined.
And about that, I'm only assuming at this stage, but say if you were to receive an invitation, what would you do?
I would
Attend?
go to the party.
Yay!
Yay. After thinking on it for a moment, I gave a small nod. I'm not confident that I'm an outstanding student or anything, so I'm not so sure that I'll be invited, but if I were, and he went through the trouble of doing so, I think it would be rude not to accept. I'd likely be putting the teachers in a difficult position, too, if I refused the invitation.
You really have a talent for overthinking things. You don't need to worry about us, too.
Hijikata-sensei watched me intently, his expression both amused and exasperated.
You're an outstanding student, you know. There's no doubt you'll be getting an invitation. Your grades aren't bad, and you listen properly to your teachers. Not to mention you always strive to improve yourself. But if that's the case, it seems like this plan backfired on me.
Hijikata-sensei said that with a deep sigh. He fixed his gaze back on me, a miserable look in his eyes. Whoosh. Depressing. Depressing whoosh.
Yeah.
This party of Serizawa-san's had sprung up out of nowhere. It quickly became the talk of the school. Then, during lunch break, I climbed up to the rooftop to meet up with Heisuke and Okita for lunch.
Oh, she's here! She's here! Chizuru! Over here! It's quite warm with the sun out today.
You're eating with us today then, Saito-san? He didn't normally sit with us for lunch. I greeted him with a nod and a smile. But where's Okita?
Oh, Soji's been kind of in a bad mood since this morning, and he ran off somewhere for lunch, you see. So I thought we could eat with Hajime instead today.
A bad mood? That struck me as a little odd as I sat down next to Saito. Time to eat our lunch in the rooftops.
Yeah.
I opened up my bento, and as I did, Heisuke sunk his teeth into some bread and spoke up again.
Well, I was pretty big shock, huh? Holding out for Christmas pie all the time? The announcement itself was very sudden as well. Even the teacher seemed surprised by it.
Serizawa-san, though, he's the one who came to see the cultural festival, right? Not only was he the Hakuoki Academy's board chairman, but also the PTA chairman and Ibuki's foster father.
Rah.
From my first impression of him, and from how timid Ibuki was around him, he seemed to be very strict with his discipline, but the long, loud sigh that Heisuke let out hinted that he might hold the same opinion.
Serizawa-san's party, huh? Even if I somehow got an invite, I got this bad feeling about it all. That is a shrewd stance to have, Heisuke. But it was with Serizawa-san's assistance that Hakuoki Academy was first founded. You must assume the worst of him now, either. I mean, Hijikata-sensei doesn't like Serizawa-san either, right? Yukimura, don't. This doesn't concern you.
Now that he mentioned it, Hijikata-sensei had seemed fairly tense the last time the two met.
It's true that they do seem to quarrel at every given opportunity, but...
Saito-san, crossing his arms and pondering that thought, looked up at me.
Yukimura, what do you think about this party?
From where I stood, Serizawa-san's Christmas party was...
That I have no idea at this point.
something to look forward to. I think I'm looking forward to it, really. I mean, who knows how it'll turn out in the end, but any party where lots of people are around seems like it would be fun to me. Heisuke ain't happy. Heisuke's expression darkened into a frown when he heard my response. But Saito-san gave me a small nod.
I think so too. Whatever sort of party Serizawa-san plans, and no matter what one may think of him, I think that he could host an enjoyable party.
I agree, though I do have my worries. I feel more excited than I do worried as of now. Heisuke suddenly brought his breath to his lips, making a face like he wanted to say something. Just what kind of event would Serizawa-san's party turn out to be? We're gonna find out. The day's classes had finished, and there were only a few more school days left in the term.
Oh, then let's wrap it up here for today.
Oh,
Take care of yourselves on the way home.
I was a little too late. I was a little too late. The ad's running.
Well,
Whoops.
well, and
I need water anyway.
yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Remind me before every 30 minutes to check that again.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, then let's wrap it up here for today. Take care of yourselves on the way home.
As the bell rang to dismiss us, the students abruptly stirred up a commotion all at once. Getting ready for their club activities, opening up their phones to text, making plans for the way home with their friends. I took my time putting my things away as I watched my classmates out of the corner of my eye. What should I do today? Maybe I just go straight home for today. Or maybe I should stop by the station and buy some groceries for dinner.
Oh, wait up a moment, Yukimura.
Hi? I stopped and turned back into the classroom. Wait, what? There's another ad?
Huh.
What?
Well, at least this one was just a small one from Amazon on my end.
No, but it says ad break in process.
Huh.
Huh?
At least it's only 2.
Yeah. I'll wait. It's not gonna do it again, is it?
Who knows?
Let's see what happens. I'm just staring at the countdown. I'm sorry, I need to get used to this, chat.
Yeah.
This is a new thing for me, I don't know. Okay. That was not me, chat. That was Twitch. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, I stopped and turned back into the classroom upon hearing Harada-sensei call out to me.
I have something for you. Here it is.
The single card Harada-sensei handed me was bordered in gold foil. Is this...
She got the golden ticket.
Is this, by any chance...
I'm sure you've already guessed, but it's an invitation to Serizawa-san's party. I do have my 2 cents, but it's in your hands now. Be sure to read it properly whenever you get home.
Serizawa-san's party, huh? I muttered to myself as I left the class, looking the invitation over. Now that I think of it, I wonder who else was invited. I'd feel better if
I have to wonder who's going to be joining you to go help out Ibuki this time.
Good question. I'd feel better if other people I knew were going too. I wonder if I should try asking around. So, there are choices. With that in mind, I found myself heading for the courtyard.
Of course.
There were people getting ready for club activities or waiting to walk home with their friends. It was more crowded than usual, so soon after class dismissal. There has to be someone I know around here. I looked around, hoping to catch sight of someone I recognized.
Like I said, there's no way she's gonna spend Christmas with you.
The bellow came from nearby.
Huh. I wondered what you had to say, but to think it was something so foolish. No matter what insignificant scum like you say, it has been settled. I will be spending Christmas with my darling bride. You sure do talk tough for someone who hasn't even asked her yet. And normally, if she were spending Christmas with somebody, it'd be me and not you. We've known each other for ages. I mean, that's how it always was when we were little. It's unsightly to cling to the past so, Heisuke Todoro.
I overheard Heisuke and Kazuma arguing. Maybe it would have been best for me to stay out of it. If I were to show up right when they were arguing about me, I was positive it would only make things worse. Thinking that, I slowly backed away.
If you dare say such things, then so be it. I'll force you to face reality. All will be made clear if we ask the woman herself. Isn't that right, my wife?
Kazuma. Run! Run away! Kazuma's gaze pierced through me, stopping me in my tracks. Heisuke's eyes also went wide when he noticed me.
Chizuru! Wait, did you hear all that just now?
Kinda?
If you were listening, then there is less to explain. I'll ask now then, shall I? Between myself, your future spouse, and this self-proclaimed childhood friend of yours, who would you rather spend Christmas with? Me, surely. You don't even need to answer. I know. You didn't ask her properly.
Puffing up in anger, Heisuke suddenly grabbed my shoulders.
Hear me now, Chizuru. Spending Christmas with this guy would seriously, absolutely be the dangerous danger of all dangers out there.
Calm down. Your words are getting all mixed up.
I am not.
Also, even if you asked me about Christmas, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, since I just got an invitation to Serizawa-san's party.
What? Serizawa-san's party, huh? That they said only exceptional students are invited, so if you were invited, then I... Huh.
After casually considering this for a moment, he suddenly turned from us and left.
What's with him?
Normally he would snap and bicker for longer than that. I found his sudden change to be puzzling as I watched him walk off. Heisuke seemed to feel this... Eh?
Count your blessings. He walked off without any fight.
Heisuke seemed to feel the same as I did. He cocked his head a little in bewilderment.
Well, whatever. More importantly, Chizuru...
Just then, as Heisuke was about to say something.
Oh, Heisuke, Yukimura. Perfect timing.
How did the sensei suddenly strolled up to us?
If you two are on your way home, then never mind. But if you would mind coming with me, there's something I'd like a hand in. Be happy to help. This is not Kazuma's route. Not yet.
I'm so sorry.
What?
I'm so sorry.
It's Kazuma?
I'm worried about Kazuma.
What? But this is not his route, though. What the fuck?
Kazuma just now. There was definitely something weird going on for him to give up so easily. The more I thought about it, the more it bothered me. After thinking about it a bit, I bowed my head. I'm sorry, Harada-sensei. Actually, I have something to take care of.
Is that so? I guess it can't be helped then. Maybe I'll get Heisuke to help. Me? Well, it requires a bit of strength, so you're perfect. Come on, what are you spacing out for? Follow me! Wait a minute!
Harada-sensei dragged Heisuke away with him. I was a bit worried about whether he'd be okay, but I watched them go before turning back around. Across the way was the student council room. That was what I thought, but... When I entered, the first person I saw made my eyes pop open in surprise. It's the brat.
Hi, brat.
Kaoru? Why are you in the student council room? That's my line. Have you never heard the expression like a moth to a flame? Why are you here in Kazuma's lair of all places? Eh?
You're no prize yourself. There's no why about it. It's obvious. My betrothed is here to see me, of course. No, I think we ought to not put her words in her mouth. Yeah, I'm with Nagamo. You're some kind of idiot, You some kind of idiot traipsing in here?
Okay, first, Shiranui. Oh my god. Second, Kazuma gracefully stood up from where he was sitting on the sofa with Amagiri and Shiranui.
I'm grabbing a book.
What?
I'm grabbing a book.
Why are you grabbing a book?
Well, I mean, it's a blank, like, journal book, but yeah, I'm using it as a prop.
Oh god, not again. Kaoru, who was standing close by with a document in hand, was forced back a few steps.
Now then, Nagamo. As student council president, I have reviewed your reports from the disciplinary committee and granted approval for your activities. That being the case, we are finished here. You may leave. Now.
Sorry, but another matter that needs addressing has just popped up. Chizuru, I'm asking you one more time. Why are you here? All eyes in the room turned to me. Also, I just noticed the armband. It's black.
Just now?
The pattern on it. It's black and white, which is what the Shinsengumi wore. I'm sorry.
But you weren't a member of the Shinsengumi, brat.
Nope. Maybe in a different universe.
What kind of fuckery is this?
Well, anyway, all eyes are on me, and I didn't know what else I could do, so I decided to be honest and say what I was thinking. I was just wondering how Kazuma was feeling, so I followed him here too.
Ah, is that so? Ah, you take that much interest in my well-being, do you?
Wouldn't it be more accurate to say that she was suspicious of you?
Ignoring that noise for a second. Ah, it's just the same old story here. Shiranui. Whose side are you on?
Neither. He's here for chaos and chaos only.
What? I would never do that. Also, yes, I would do that.
Pandemonium ensued. Kazuma and Kaoru together made for an explosive mix. And Shiranui liked adding fuel to the fire. As I worried about what to do, Amagiri pulled up a chair for me. Thank you, Amagiri, for being a gentleman.
Please, Yukimura, take a seat.
Thank you very much, Amagiri.
May I interest you in some tea as well? For green, we have Gyokuro, and for black, a lovely Assam.
I'll have the black tea, please.
One black tea! No, black tea it is. Would you care for some milk in it? I've already said it. But if you are finished with your business here, then leave. You are interfering with my bride and my company together. Being cooped up in your disciplinary committee's gloomy science lab suits you far better. You're the one who picked the lab out for him, though, Kazuma. She just wanted to harass Hijikata since he's their advisor.
I don't care if you pick fights with Hijikata-sensei. But you're always causing us trouble. Learn to keep your private and public affairs separate. Kaoru snapped at Kazuma, who scoffed in reply. Amagiri and I watched them bicker from the sidelines while we drank our tea. I need that as a drawing. I need to see them just sitting there, drinking tea together.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna drink some here.
Shiranui tossed in the odd inflammatory remark.
Oh boy, this will be good.
Eventually, I finished my tea.
And?
Although, amazingly, the fighting continued. Amagiri silently got to his feet.
Uh-oh! Kazuma Nakabo, have you not lost the sight of the point? In the beginning, the question was why the young lady came here, if I recall correctly. Also, why are you not pushing the cart?
Amagiri moved to meditate between the two of them and looked back at me.
That last remark was about how pushing the cart is an objective and the point.
Oh, Jesus.
Yukimura, I should ask you once more. Why is it that you came here?
That was...
I'm gonna say because I thought he was scheming, because this is not his route.
Because I thought he was scheming.
Yeah!
I had to explain myself clearly this time. I drew in a breath and spoke. When we met earlier, Kazuma, you seemed a bit off. So because of that, I wondered if you might be planning something. I was partly prepared for him to get angry with me. I shrugged and spoke frankly, awaiting his reaction. But the reaction that came was completely different from what I had expected. Why?
As expected of my bride, your instincts are sharp. You have my praise for reading, even my hidden thoughts.
Huh? Okay. Thank you? Trust me, I'm as confused as Chizuru is right now. Chizuru, Don't just go along with this idiot.
You brat. You must not value your life.
As I watched Shiranui pin Kazuma's arm and hold him back,
Oh!
Hamagiri gave me a signal with his eyes, and I left the student council room. Okay.
You
Bye.
fool.
See ya. Someone called out to me from behind as I headed out to make my way home. Chizuru! Oh, Kaoru. Did he calm down? Kazuma, I mean. Amagiri and Shiranui are dealing with him. With that, Kaoru fell silent as he fell into step beside me. After glancing at me 2 or 3 times from the side, opening his mouth as if to speak, only to shut it again, Kaoru seemed to find his resolve and spoke up. Chizuru, it goes without saying, but Christmas is a day you spend with family, you know? Huh? Oh. I've heard that's what the holiday was about, originally. Right. Some idiots have it all mixed up nowadays, saying that it's a holiday for lovers, but originally it was always a family holiday. But you already knew that. That's my sister for you. For some reason, Kaoru looked a bit happy about that as we passed through the school gates, shoulder to shoulder. Whoosh? Are we having a moment with our brother? Now that I think of it, we followed the same route part of the way home. Wanna walk together, Kaoru? I'm fine either way. If you really want to, no matter what, I suppose I could walk with you.
Why are you acting like this?
It's not a no matter what kind of... If you want to, no matter what.
Oh.
Then... Yeah, I want to. No matter what. Look at you, learning how to be honest now. Makes me happy to see as your brother. He seemed to be in a good mood, despite the fact that we definitely weren't getting along. Even with Kaoru acting so unreasonable, the happiness I felt while we walked home together was no small thing. Despite being siblings, we had never walked back home together before, not in grade school nor in junior high. But this time, it felt like we'd grown closer as we kept chatting on the way home. Well, the moment's gone. One day at a time, the calendar's pages turned, and soon enough, the end of the year was close. It was the night before the last big event before we were welcome in the new year, the Christmas party. Yo! All of the awesome has followed. Welcome to the stage.
Yay!
I recognized the sound this time.
Yeah! What's up?
Hi. Welcome, welcome. Did I read this line?
Yes, you did.
Good, because I didn't remember. As I lazed about on my bed, I looked over at the present I had prepared for the next day. I wonder if whoever gets this will like it. Will we ever find out what this present is?
I don't know.
Ugh. I'm looking forward...
We have questions.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow, but I guess I'm still a bit worried, too. Who in the world would get my present? I wondered whether the party at Serizawa-san's would really go off without a hitch. I rolled around about on my bed, torn between excitement and worry. Suddenly, my phone beeped with an email notification. From Ibuki? Help me. It read like someone's dying message. For a moment, I could only sit there speechless. Ibuki, what's wrong? Should I call the police or an ambulance if I didn't get a reply? I found my finger hovering over the emergency contact out of reflex as I waited tensely for Ibuki's reply. But before long, he sent another email. The truth is, I was left in charge of getting the venue prepped and decorated for tomorrow's party, but the storehouse is in such a state I can't even begin to search for the decorations. We're clearly short on helping hands. Even though it was just a text, I could somehow hear the fatigue in his voice. It was the sound of someone who'd been driven into a corner. Since it's that bad... Want me to come help you out? I could come early tomorrow morning. We should have plenty of time to prepare for the party then. I only hesitated for a second. I typed out my reply quickly and hit send. Really? If you really mean it, then yes, please. After we finished our back and forth, I sighed deeply. If I'm going to help him out early tomorrow, I better get ready. I better get to sleep early too. But even if I'm there, I'm not sure it'll be enough. Will I really be much help with so much decorating left to do? It might be best to have at least another pair of helping hands. Looking through my phone's address book, I started to feel sleepy. Eventually, I gave in to it and flopped back onto my bed. I really hope tomorrow's party will go smoothly. Eh?
Well then.
Alas, December 25th had arrived. The whole world was abuzz over Christmas Day. Let's take a ad break.
Yeah.
I need water.
Drink water, please.
All the water.
Please.
Coffee.
All right, 4 ads.
Ooh. Yo, wait.
What?
I just noticed the goal is different.
IDK my BFF Jill, question mark?
Hold on.
I'm as confused as you are.
Hey. Let's switch that.
Yo, coffee!
Coffee? Coffee!
Yeah.
Coffee.
Yeah, all of the awesome said, yo, coffee.
Coffee. Well, I don't know what happened to the goal. It switched itself.
Somehow. Maybe because we got all of the awesome as a follower.
I guess I have to end that goal, but, anyway. Let's get back to this. At last, December 25th had arrived. The whole world was abuzz over Christmas Day. I left my house very early in the morning and set off to join Ibuki.
Who's gonna join us?
Based on the mail he sent me, it sounds like Ibuki had already started with the decorations. I need to hurry. I was alone on the road. No one would be passing by on a holiday morning, so I started walking a bit faster. When I thought about how Ibuki may be collapsing at this very moment, I found it very frustrating to wait for the crosswalk signal. I unconsciously found myself trying to cross the street as soon as the traffic light turned red, without waiting for the pedestrian light to turn green.
Because fuck the establishment.
But in that instant, a loud voice had carried over and stopped me. It hasn't even turned green yet. Even an elementary student knows to wait, and yet you don't. I swear, you embarrass me as your older brother. I'd give you a strike if we were in school. Kodu! By the way, what could possibly put you in such a rush this early in the morning? Why are you up early in the morning is the question.
Don't change the subject.
I have to hurry and go to Ibuki's house. To Ibuki's house?
It's as if he were to say, why?
You better give me the details. Hold on, I'm getting my notepad ready. You have a notepad?
Yeah, that...
As he said that, he pulled out a notebook that had Dead Note written on the cover for some reason. Oh my... Kaoru.
Again, I have to ask, where did you get that?
Kaoru, I feel like you might be misunderstanding something. I'm just going to help out with the party preparations, okay? I explained how I got in a message from Ibuki yesterday. About how things had gotten rough and how he was at a loss on how to finish the decorations. Once I'd fully explained the situation, Kaoru reluctantly returned returned the notepad to his pocket. The nerve of that Ibuki, dragging my sister into something so ridiculous. The only cost is your soul. That's true. That's true, Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. I understand the situation. If you say that you absolutely have to go, is it okay if I come and help too? Huh? Oh, well, of course. I'd be grateful if you do that, but don't you have plans already, Kaoru? If you're out walking around so early in the morning, you must have something to do, right? Not really. It's nothing.
I don't believe you.
You have to have some kind of business, right? It's not worth talking about. There's a party starting at noon at the Naguma house. That's all. I was just going out to pick up some cake for it. As per usual, Kaoru referred to it as the Naguma house instead of my house, but his tone was even more detached than usual, and it made me screw my face up in an indignant frown. But that's no good, is it? Sarizo-san's party starts tonight. You should prioritize that party during the afternoon. Didn't you say before that Christmas is a day for family? That's why you and Uncle Kora should... My dad's not home. Kaoru's eyes widened in surprise before he averted his gaze, looking awkward. My dad, Koro Yukimura, had been dispatched to an isolated island that had no doctors. He was, of course, the only doctor there at the moment. Naturally, he seldom ever came home, nor was he able to. We'd lost both our parents in an accident. The two of us were well acquainted with the anxiety that a parent may not return home one day. Kaoru raised his hands and shook his head in surrender. All right. Even if we were more or less just family in name, I guess I need to show a little goodwill. You are my one and only little sister, so for your sake, I'll go to the afternoon party. Thanks, Kaoru. That's all I'm going to say, though. You better not half-ass this either, or embarrass me as my sister. You got it. I'll see you tonight. As I parted ways with Kaoru, I broke into a jog, because Ibuki might be dead. As I walked around looking for the address I'd gotten, soon enough a massive mansion came into view. As I passed through the gate with a nameplate reading Serizawa, Ibuki greeted me with a bright, enthusiastic look on his face. Yukimura! You came? I knew you'd show up. I'm sorry I'm a bit late. I ended up talking to someone on the way here. No, it's fine. Completely fine. I'm grateful that you came at all. After all, each and every one of the other guys refused me. They didn't want to be at Serizawa-san's house for a second longer than they absolutely had to.
What did you just say, you little mutt?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Nothing! You're such a good person, really. My son, why? Ibuki really looked like he was at his wit's end. Hug the Ibuki. Hug Ibuki.
Hug the Ibuki.
Hug the Ibuki, who will soon have an emote at some point.
Oh.
I tried to soothe Ibuki's tears, especially since he didn't usually cry, and patted him lightly as I nodded. Oh my god! Anyway, let's both do our best, okay? This sounds like...
a good time to save?
Yep. Alright, that's done. Whether or not I can continue living and growing older is in your hands. Jesus. Surely, he was exaggerating. I wanted to laugh it off. I wanted to laugh. I wanted to laugh it off, but Ibuki's expression was much too serious for me to do so. Well then, I'll get started on the interior decorations. Please go find the stuff on this list in the backyard storehouse. Got it. I'll come ask you if anything happens. Saying that, I headed off towards the storehouse. Alright, minigame time. Yeah, you. This present.
Yeah.
I see the bear.
Yep.
Sheepy. And it's this one. Yay! That is the max amount of points you can get, I guess.
Well then.
Ibuki, does this look right to you? Some time had passed since we began working. After I'd finished carrying all the decorations out of the storehouse, I switched to working on decorating the interior with Ibuki. When I placed the last ornament on the tree, Ibuki's chest deflated with a sigh of relief. Alright, good work! Now, even that pig-headed Serizawa-san won't be able to complain.
Oh, that's some confidence you've got there.
Serizawa-san! What do you think, Serizawa-san? Ibuki and I put our absolute best effort into the decorating.
It is acceptable.
Grumbling only those few words, Serizawa-san swiftly walked away from us. When I saw his apathetic reaction, my face clouded over with anxiety. I guess he didn't like it. No, he did. That reaction means he's in a good mood. That was a good reaction? Was he, like... What was he like normally, then? Although I had the urge to ask him, he relieved his... Although I had the urge to ask him, the relieved expression on Ibuki's face wasn't fading, so I decided just to stay quiet. Alright. Anyway. After working ourselves to the bone, we were somehow able to finish with the decorations. Then I helped with things like setting the tables and serving the food. Finally, the guests arrived at the venue one after the other. But I felt like there were too many of them for some reason. It might have just been my imagination, but it was almost like the whole school had come over. Then, once all of the invitees had gathered, we were finally ready to start the party.
Well, this is... The decorations are... Oh, I thought that was Sonic.
Nope.
Well, this is... The decorations are more elegant than expected. The lighting in the garden is magnificent as well. I wouldn't have guessed that this was all done in someone's home. Granted, even if Serizawa-san's goal was, despite Kondo-sensei, this is still quite the effort.
I want the button.
I'm getting the button.
You goddamn snake!
Among the people who looked at the sparkling decorative lights in amazement were...
Oh, there's a whole turkey right here!
Isn't that champagne over there? I shouldn't have to ask, but there are non-alcoholic drinks for students here, right? The champagne, juice, and mountains of food lined up on the tables caught people's eyes as well. When Kondo-sensei arrived last, he looked plenty surprised.
Wow. Don't tell me that all of my students were invited. I can take a guess how this happened, but I expected nothing less from Serizawa-san.
He seemed relieved and re-energized, looking like he was enjoying all this. I let out a sigh of relief. I wonder if this is what Hijikata-sensei meant when he told me not to worry.
Hey, you mutt. What's the meaning of this? I don't recall inviting this many people.
Don't look at me, I had no idea about this.
I see. This was Hijikata's doing.
We got more important things to worry about, Serizawa-san. It's already time for us to start.
Don't change the subject. It was Hijikata-san, wasn't it?
Having checked that all of the guests that had arrived, Ibuki pressed Serizawa-san on with the proceedings. That the party was starting times 2.
Looks like everyone has gathered here. With this, the Christmas party sponsored by the Serizawa household has begun.
It looked like the ball had gotten rolling a bit. Everyone looked at Serizawa-san a little meekly at first. But soon the appetizing food lessened the tension, and after one person made a move towards it, the floodgates opened and everyone moved about freely. Again, I still like to think that the first person that did it was Nagakura.
Oh, it was, absolutely.
Before I knew it, the venue looked like a buffet party. Serizawa-san didn't say anything either, maybe since he wanted it to be a free and easy gathering. Laughter echoed from everywhere within the grounds, and groups of people who you wouldn't normally see together were exchanging words. With everything that was going on, I decided to...
Good question.
You want me to just do it?
Refill drinks, possibly?
Stand quietly.
Oh.
Everyone looked like they were having fun in their own groups, and I didn't want to interrupt them. I approached the edge of the room, away from everyone who looked like they were enjoying themselves, and watched them from afar. At that moment...
seeing the only girl in the party being such a wallflower. Makes me wonder everyone else in the party is doing. Please, Yukimura, this way.
You goddamn snake!
Perfect timing.
Sanan-sensei smiled while inviting me over with a hand on my back. Sanan-sensei? I found myself turning red. 2 people near us noticed and rushed over, looking ready to chew us out. I wonder who that could be.
It's Karu, and it's the bitch.
So the brat and the bitch.
Yes. The dreaded double B, as it were.
Hold it right
Okay,
there.
that's half right.
Hold it right there. You think it's acceptable for a teacher to make a pass at a student?
Here. A student should really mingle with their fellow students. Wouldn't you agree, Shizuru-san?
As if. It doesn't matter if it's with another student or a teacher. Illicit relationships are strictly forbidden.
Stop.
In stark contrast with the glare Kauta shot at him, Okita shrugged with a cool expression.
It wouldn't be illicit in my case. I'm different to Mr. Sonnen. Damn it. Well, it wouldn't be illicit in my case. I'm different to Sonnen and you.
How did you do that?
It happened twice.
Yep.
Why? You're telling me, Okita. Though I don't have any ulterior motives myself, of course. Unlike whenever you brought everyone together.
Maybe it was naive of me to think I could keep a low profile. While watching the three of them get into an argument, I quickly got out of there.
Quietly.
Now then, what should I get up to next?
Check on the group in the corner?
Nope.
Oh, it's time to end.
Yep, it's time to wrap things up. Sipping from my near-empty glass, I took a breath and glanced at the time. A lot of time had passed since the start of the party. My worry that something might happen seemed to be an unfounded one. A smile escaped me as I watched everyone have fun. I looked around the room and let out a sigh of relief as the party carried on. With food settling nicely in everyone's stomachs, people started taking out the presents they got for the exchange, one by one. Ones that could fit in the palm of your hand, others that you'd basically have to hug to carry, ones that gave metallic clanks, and others that looked soft. Ones that were left in the garden and didn't even make it inside the room in the first place. To which I still question how they got here. Every present had pretty wrapping that you couldn't see through, but none of them looked ordinary or predictable in the least. We shuffled the presents around in circles, and before long we each had one in hand.
Alright, we'll open them on 3. Sarazawa-san, if you could, take the lead. Why? So, what, you could put me in on the spot or with something out of my comfort zone and laugh at me for it? I'll be having a drink. Decide amongst yourselves on a cue. I guess we have no choice. Yukimura, then. You'll lead us off.
Me?
Yeah, that'd be nice. You're the one who helped prepare the place, and it should follow that you do the honors. That's only a shout that you have to do. There's no need to overthink it.
He says to people that overthinks.
You goddamn snake!
I understand.
Come on, Santa. I'm begging to hear. You know which present I got my eye on?
I'm okay with it being from anybody. Just let it be food, please.
Don't worry, I'll prepare food for you every day, my boy.
Alright then. 1, 2, 3.
It's the chibis!
I
didn't get it. I wanted a year's worth of paid leave so bad, though.
Again, I'm always gonna point out, look at Saito over there. With the
I
blue
know.
with the blue present. He looks so cute. I just can't. And then, you know, we have Okita and Heisuke at the bottom.
Yeah.
And Okita with his kitty face, like, I got a present. What'd you get? A present.
I got a present. We all got presents. Yeah, but I got this one. You thought that that'd be one of the presents here? And even if it was, what do you think a student would do with it? Chibi art is always welcome. Yes, awesome. If
Yes.
we were on paid break, would we be able to advance a year without going to classes?
Awesome's correct. Chibi's cute. Yes.
そいつは便利でいいじゃねえか。
It wouldn't be that. Wouldn't that just be convenient? Well, even if it were a thing, it'd just be a fancy way to skip school. Such a present is in here in the first place. Though even hoping for it would be foolish. Incidentally, where is the year's worth of my bride that is supposed to go to me? As if that'd be more likely than a year of paid leave. And what do you even mean by a year's worth? I can't comprehend it. Well, even if I ever got such a thing, I'd make sure I enjoy every minute of that year. Okita, what in the world would you do with that? Actually, don't answer that. We might have a problem depending on how you answer.
God, is there any help in the number of idiots here? Talk about a year's worth all you like. Don't you know a little sister belongs to her older brother? First of all, I'd like it if you didn't decide things on your own while ignoring what I want.
Brother knows best, though.
Fuck that. A cute phone strap, a book token, an assortment of goods, a soft toy.
Like my plushies right here at my starter squad.
Yeah, I got several bags, garbage bags filled with plushies on top of the bunk bed. I have no room. There were many.
I got sitting on the desk now.
There were many presents, but this one was mine. I was hoping that who got what would stay secret so the sender could be saved from any potential embarrassment. The hands on the clock wouldn't turn back and kept marching forward hour by hour. I didn't know who first pointed out that it was getting late. The night wore on and I realized how late it gotten. The Christmas party wrapped up without fanfare and people started to disperse. As everyone began to head home for the night, I headed off to thank Serizawa-san for hosting the party. That's different.
Yeah, this is different. Otherwise, we'd be heading home with our selected bachelor.
Serizawa-san, thank you so much for hosting us today. Everyone was able to have a wonderful time thanks to you. Things have gotten fairly messy around here from the ruckus everyone made. If you like, I would be happy to help clean up.
Do not get the wrong idea, young lady. I have already decided that the mongrel will take care of it.
His words may have been harsh, but even so, he sounded much milder than before. I wondered if something good happened to him today. He had refused my offer, so I thanked him one more time and then turned away. And then, just as I made to leave the house, I felt... Did you just... I
figured it would have been that, but I guess it's the brat.
Huh?
I guess it's the brat and not the dog.
No. I felt Kaoru tap my shoulder. We're heading home now, Chizuru. What? Together? You're as slow as ever. If we weren't going together, I wouldn't have a reason to call out to you in the first place, now would I? But I feel like your house isn't in this direction. Without listening to what I had to say, Kaoru quickly set off walking. Oh, come on. Fine. Just halfway then. I had no choice but to follow after him. I guess it's Kaoru.
Friends, aka Karu.
Apparently, this is how we get the girls' route.
Wait, you mean to tell me that Karu's a chick?
I mean, I'm not gonna spoil Hakuoki for those that haven't seen seen or played Hakuoki, but
Yeah, yeah.
shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Watch the live streams if you want to know more.
Well, not the
Well, it's not
live.
live stream. He said you. Awesome said you sure. I didn't notice. Well, there's a bit of context in Hakuoki proper.
Yeah.
Check out the other live streams on the.
Well, not the live streams, but you have to resort to the YouTube videos now.
Wait a minute, not the. Oh yeah. I thought during Edo Blossom and Kyoto wins.
Yeah, you gotta look on the channel now. Shenanigans. Despite asking to walk home with me, Kaoru walked at his own brisk pace. He didn't look back at me, and he didn't say anything. It was only after we had been walking for a while that I managed to pry a response from him. Kaoru, why did you want to walk home together? Because you're an idiot.
What?
What? Why are you attacking me all of a sudden?
Aka.
There's no other word for it. Of course you're an idiot for trying to walk home alone this late at night. I thought you'd at least figure that much on your own without me having to say anything. What? Kaoru's tone was kind of nasty, and he was going about things in a very roundabout way, but maybe... Don't tell me. You were worried about me? It's only natural I'd be worried. You're my sister, after all. Plus, Christmas is a day for family, right? Is it really so bad I was worried? What I said this morning came right back at me from my twin brother. It was like looking in a mirror. Even if it was only a little bit, his face held a hint of a genuine smile. I felt my own expression relax slightly when I saw that. He seemed a little embarrassed. He looked away and resumed his brisk pace from earlier. Come on, Kaoru. Wait up.
Aw. Okay,
Okay.
I have to admit that's actually kind of nice.
Yes. Oh, this is. Hold on. Okay, so cute.
There we go, chat.
There we go. It's so cute. Kaoru looked shocked when I grabbed his hand. What are you? Well, if I leave you alone, you're just going to keep walking at your own pace. Plus, your hands looked cold. When I explained myself, Kaoru just stared hard at my hand for a moment, before suddenly jerking his gaze away. When we were split into different households, there were a lot of things that I should have done as your older brother that I couldn't do. There were so many things that I wanted to do for you, and so many things that I wanted to give you, but... Well, that party was kind of fun, so I'll put up with this, just for now. You better be grateful. I had no idea what I was supposed to be grateful for. But I was absolutely certain that he was worried for me. It made me happy and I smiled.
Kind of confused myself as to what to be grateful for.
Although we had always been far from one another, we had finally reunited when we came to high school. We had an awkward relationship at best until now. But since enrolling at Hakuoki Academy, I felt that we were getting closer. We were closing the distance between us bit by bit. I thought once again that I was glad to have chosen this academy. Whoosh. After arriving home from the Christmas party, I turned on the heater in my chilly room. I got mail.
We got mail immediately.
It's from Kaoru, isn't it?
No hesitation. It's from Kaoru.
I swear that was such an exhausting party.
Better get out the D12.
Those guys couldn't help being noisy as always. If I knew things were going to be like that, I would have spent a more comfortable time alone instead. Do you feel the same too?
Didn't you have fun too, Karu?
Nope.
Nope, I guess not.
What makes you think that? Your eyesight must be awful if it looked that way to you.
Okay, to be fair, I do wear glasses. Shut up, Karu.
So do I. As the room gradually started warming up, I recalled everything that went on tonight. What a fun Christmas day, not to mention. Remembering the events that unfolded just now made my cheeks stay warm for a good long while. And we're not it. We're not. Are we? Are we?
We could probably do this, but not worry about Valentine's Day
No,
right
this
now.
is Valentine's Day.
No, it's not.
Oh wait, no, it's not. Wait.
New Year's. Carefree times. New Year's for sweethearts.
Oh, this is where it ends.
Wait, seriously?
I have no more choices after this. Happy New Year. Let's have a good one this year too. People's New Year's greetings rang out from all around me at the shrine. January 1st, New Year's Day. Having come to the shrine to pay my respects for the new year, I looked about this way and that. I don't think anyone I know is here. If I just take a quick look around. I just come on a whim, which was fine, but I hadn't made any particular plans with anyone. But it seemed that was just me being naive, thinking I would run into someone just like that. Well, it is how it is. I might as well go and pray since I'm here. In that very moment, I admitted defeat with a sigh. My phone beeped that I had mail, and I looked up. It's from Kaoru. Chizuru, where are you right now? Happy New Year, Kaoru.
You must know, brat.
I'm praying my respects at a shrine nearby.
Yeah, that.
Typing out a quick reply, I hit send. But somehow I had hardly even sent it before a reply popped up on my screen. I only have one question for you. You're not secretly meeting with someone, are you? No, I'm here alone. Also, you replied super quick. It's not like I saw you looking around restlessly and thought you may be waiting for someone or anything. Alright, if you're not, then that's fine. I glanced around me, and I was sure I'd check already. I hesitated for a moment, feeling strangely uneasy, before another reply came from Kaoru suddenly. But I feel like standing around by yourself is kind of lonely. It's beyond pathetic that you don't even have any friends to go to the New Year's shrine with, and it's making me worried.
Well, not this route.
That kind of ticked me off just now. It's not like you have many friends yourself with that sharp tongue of yours. Muttering that to myself, I glanced back down at my phone. At times like this, I should...
I have no idea what... This is new territory.
Continue through text. I know I ought to properly counter his argument. Thinking that, I sent my reply straight away. It's true I didn't make plans with anyone, but this shrine is near our school, so I thought I might run into someone I knew. It's New Year's, so I'm sure if I look around nearby, I'm bound to find at least one person I know. Feeling somewhat irritated, I looked upon the crowd of people. As if mocking my efforts, my phone pinged with another text. It's no use looking around. No one you know is around you.
Where are you?
How do you know that? It's as if you've been watching me this whole time. Eh? Up until now, his replies came within seconds of my own, yet all of a sudden they just stopped. What? Okay. No, sorry. We're fine.
We're fine, chat. Nothing's on fire.
No, 3 minutes passed, then 5. No reply. I wonder what happened. Finding his silence strange, I hesitantly reached for the call button. Hello? Koru. Happy New Year. You need something? Unlike you, I'm actually busy. We have no proof of that. Awesome. Oh, sorry, I just wanted to give my New Year's greetings to you properly. Oh, wait a minute. There's a lot of noise in the background there. Where are you right now? It doesn't matter where I am. If that's all you wanted to say, I'm hanging up. Something was off about him. No, rather, something was fishy. Wondering about all the background noise, I held the phone a little away from my ear. Keeping it there, I hit the redial button and called Kaoru one more time. When I did,
it immediately went to voicemail.
Directly behind me, I heard a faint answering ring. Feeling an odd sort of determination, I whipped around to look behind me. My eyes landed on him, Kaoru, hiding amongst the crowd.
Gotcha, bitch.
Kaoru, could it be that you've been there this whole time?
You have no proof.
You were writing like you knew exactly what I was doing. Were you observing me the whole time? Not necessarily. If you make an embarrassment of yourself, you're embarrassing me too, as your brother. So I came to check on you out of concern. Anyway, knowing you, you don't even know the proper etiquette for a New Year's shrine visit, do you? So I thought I'd teach you. That sounded like a pretty feeble excuse to me. But Kaoru left me no opening to call him out on it, as he abruptly set off for the shrine. If he'd only just say he wanted to go together to visit the shrine for New Year's, then I'd have been happy to go with him. Releasing a breath that was part sigh and part exasperated laugh, I followed after Kaoru. We waited our turn in the long line, which Kaoru saw as his chance to nitpick and nag at me with all the while we made our prayers. As we passed the shrine office, he wanted to take a look there too. We also chatted as we drew our fortunes. Well, it's not like I actually believe in fortune telling or anything. I just figured it'd give us something to talk about. So, Chudra, what did you get? It says luck with romance is promising. If you look to those around you, you could find love soon. Well, that seems true enough. But you shouldn't trust fortunes. Pig-headed, contrary, shameless, happy-go-lucky guys, loose cannons, and idiotic student council presidents. There aren't any decent men around you, and you're still too young for romance besides. Who was pig-headed or a loose cannon to him? I was curious, but looked back down at my fortune slip instead of asking. For health, it also says I should be aware of unexpected accidents. That's far more realistic than the romance bit. You're so unbelievably slow and clumsy that it's hard to believe you're my sister. Even if you say that. If you don't want to hear it, then step it up a bit. Well, anyway, should we go tie these to the blessing tree? Let's... With a sigh.
Let's.
With a sigh, I glanced about while we went. As I did.
Oh.
Oh. As I reached for one of the sacred tree branches to tie my fortune slip around it, my foot caught on a root, making me fall flat on my face. Oh no, it happened! Ow, 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 ow! We just talked about this and you've already tripped? Jeez, you're so... Hey, Chizuru. What's wrong? Did you twist your ankle? Hearing a note of panic in Kaoru's voice, I...
They crouched over your foot?
stayed crouched over my foot. When I moved my right foot, I felt a tingling pain shoot out my leg. After attempting to stand on it a few more times, I bit my lip and forced myself to admit, "Sorry, I don't think I can stand just now." Jeez, such a hassle. Come on. Kaoru? I stared uncomprehending at his outstretched hand. Seemingly losing patience with me, Kaoru grabbed my hand himself and clicked his tongue. Come on, I'll lend you a hand. So let's make for these steps and have a seat. We'll wait here until you can walk again. Thanks. Were you actually...
We have no proof of that. I just now saw it.
Were you actually worried about me, Kaoru? As if... He turned his face away at my question. But...
Yeah, we are getting the ending music.
Well, it's more of the romance music for everybody else.
Yeah, that's why I'm calling it the ending music.
In the end, it was some time before I could walk and Kaoru gave me a piggyback ride. Oh my god. I need this as a drawing as well. Show!
As
one would expect, it was embarrassing, so it wasn't for very long. But in the light of the first sun of the year, his profile somehow looked a little gentler than it had before.
No!
Wait, there might still be a chance. The pain in my leg gradually receded, and the feverish heat in my ankle also subsided. Eventually, I was able to more or less walk on my own, and we slowly made our way towards my home. Well, it seems you're fine already. I don't think I injured the bone or anything. At any rate, it's not enough to stop me from walking. Well, that's not exactly an expert opinion. You should have Uncle Kodo examine it. He's a doctor after all, isn't he?
Okay, but what part... Okay.
Yeah, Dad said he'd come back for a short break after New Year's. I'll ask him to look at it then. Dad, huh? When I said that word, Kaoru made a face. The man I called my father took me in after our real parents died. He wasn't my real father. It was also the same for Kaoru and his adopted family. He and I were the only ones left of our real biological family. Yet us siblings were raised and kept apart. Kaoru never spoke much about the Nagumo family, yet I always wondered whether, one day... Then, I'm off. Even if you trip again, I won't be there to save you.
Oh, you act like it's such an inconvenience to you.
I'm not going to. It would be nice if a day would come when we could take our time talking. I thought about that as the two of us set off for our homes together until our paths split. Then that night, as usual after I finished having dinner alone, I went upstairs to my room.
And we got mail.
Yep. Karu! I missed my chance to say something earlier, so let me just say this now just in case. Happy New Year. Still, I haven't carried you on my back since we were kids. But don't you think you've gotten a little heavier? Jesus!
Listen here, little shit. Karu, you always say one thing too many.
Yeah, I want to go with this one. Aww.
Aww. Dice gods, why?
I'm just telling you like it is. You've got no right to complain. Fuck.
Oh, of course, that whole back and forth as well. God.
A New Year's program was playing on TV, but I just couldn't bring myself to watch it. In my days, I stared blankly out my window. The events that happened today replayed in my head, making me feel giddier with every passing moment. The first night of the new year drew to a close as I dwelled on my thoughts. Well, oh, never mind.
You said that there was no other choices, so is this just like wrapping things up, basically?
Let's see.
I mean,
One
it's
day.
only been almost 3 hours, so...
Nope, it's still gonna be the same. We're gonna run through it. We just have no options.
Okay.
So I'm gonna save it, and that's gonna be the end for today.
Okay.
Let's go to the title. And
Yeah,
go to my
and show off
son's...
Chibi Ibuki.
Yep. Where's my son's shop? There it is.
There it
Let
is.
me move from the screen. There he is! Chibi!
Yeah!
There! We have no proof of anything. Mage, what?
I mean, there's that whole philosophy thing, like, this guy went into lengthy detail about how he told his landlord he, in fact, did not owe him anything.
But...
It was an old Greek philosopher, I think.
Alright. So,
Tomorrow?
at 2 p.m., we have, working on Ties of Fate Part 3 with the audio. We're gonna move on to Scene 2.
And tomorrow night, instead of this, it's Splatfest.
Yep, we're on Team Shiver, starting at 8 p.m., which is when Splatfest starts. Oh,
8
why-
p.m. Eastern, 8
Yeah.
p.m. Eastern Standard Time,
Yep.
so...
8 p.m. Eastern, which I'm gonna have fun with because I know in my heart it's going to be a majority mirror matches. I'm gonna scream at Blue on Saturday because I know he's gonna join us, and I'm just gonna.
Anyways,
Who's saying it?
and I was gonna say anything else to add to that, or
I think that's it. That's it.
if that's the case, then please drink water.
Have a good day or night.
And try not to die because you didn't drink water, and
We'll see you tomorrow. Or
yeah,
yeah, tomorrow.
bye.
Bye bye.